Hi, this is the first video I'm making for this community. It's not the most perfect video. It might not have the perfect quality, but I think it's important. I will start recording, start talking to you, because otherwise we might not meet in person. And it's important for me to pass the message about investing and why investing is important and why all of you and all of us women should get our act together and start learning about investing and actually start investing. So, I will start with a story. Imagine a society where people work on a rice field. They do very simple tasks, and every day they do the same task. So one person every day goes and plants a seed. Another person waters the plants. Maybe somebody else is gathering the rice. The same task every day, again and again and again. At the end of the day, they go home with a bowl of rice. This is what they get paid for their work. Most of them consume this rice the same day and go to work the next day. Some of them save a little bit of rice every day. And if they save enough, they might skip a day of work. They might even save enough to not work for a month. All of them are dreaming of the moment when they will not work again, when they have saved enough rice to not to go to work again. But that really seldom happens. What somehow they don't manage to understand is that they can plant rice and get their own plantation. Hardly anyone is doing it. Some tried and failed. And many of them even don't want to start because it seems impossible. How can you make a plantation out of a few pieces of rice? And also, many of them don't even connect. They don't make this connection with the rice they receive and consume and the plantation. They don't see the connection that it's the same rice, that instead of saving, they might be planting. As you can imagine, in this story, rice is the money in our life. And unfortunately, many of us were not brought up with the idea that money should grow. I think most of us have the idea that we have to save. We'll definitely all get that we have to work to earn money for our living. Then we save, and we try to save to have a comfortable saving pot, but that we should be investing, that from the very early on we could be growing our wealth. This is not something we grow up with. And then what many of us don't realize, that actually in our world, in our society, there is another type of people. In the story about rice, that would be the owners of the plantation. Imagine, these owners of the plantation, they really have lots of rice, because after they distribute rice between the people who work there, they are left with quite a huge quantity of rice. And it grows. It grows every year. They are replanting it, so they have more fields and more fields and more fields. They don't know even what to do with this rice, so they create hybrids, they exchange it for wheat, they experiment, and their whole life is around working with this abundance of rice. They cannot stop, because if they stop, the whole society will collapse. The people working on the fields, they will stay without meal. So these people, the rice owners, they are quite concerned and stressed as well, because they have to deal with this huge quantity of rice and they are not very sure what to do with it, but they know they have to do something with it. And they don't want to let it spoil. So in our society also there are people who live and think as the rice owners, who are brought up with the idea that money should be moving, should be invested, should be growing, and this is what their life is about. They also see at our business world as an opportunity to grow their money, to invest money in some businesses, to get return on investment. So they have a very, very different look at the world. So when we work for big companies, sometimes we don't realize that people at the top management, they have a different look at it. They have the look at the business from the point of investor. And understanding this difference, understanding how investors look at the world, because investors look at the world different as not investors, would make our life easier in a way and definitely more interesting.